Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki Guruve Gaur Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Namah Pankajanaභaya Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankaja Netraya Namaste Pankajangriye Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagye Sankirtana Praye Yajanti Sumedasaha Hare Krishna. So my dear friends, devotees, Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We completed chapter 21 of 8th canto entitled Bali Maharaj Arrested by the Lord. So we'll do a quick summary and we can take one or two reflections and then we'll start with the next chapter, which is chapter 22. So chapter 21, just a little bit background about chapter 20. In chapter 20, Bali Maharaj expanded his Virat Rupa. He came as a dwarf, tiny boy, asking for 3 steps of land. Bali Maharaj agreed, and then later he expanded and his Virat Rupa. And everyone was amazed to see the beauty of the Lord and the different weapons and etc. So everyone started to now worship in this chapter. They started to worship even the great demigods, Brahma, Maricha, yogis, etc. Everyone was worshipping their toenails, so effulgent. And the Lord's toenail scraped the outer covering of the earth or this planet, this universe, and from there flowed Ganga, Charanamrita, which is a combination of 3 things: the water from the Kamandalu of Lord Brahma, the liquid form of Lord Narayana, and the water of the causal ocean. So this is Ganga Devi. To purify the 3 worlds, she flew from the causal ocean. And then Vaman Dev again back reduced his size. So basically, in the first 2 steps, he had occupied whatever Bali Maharaj had in his control. That is the 3 worlds, lower, middle, and upper planets. Everything was taken in the 2 steps only. And Jambavant also circumambulated and was doing a big bugle. All the demigods came showering flowers and nice festival was happening. And then the demons were not happy with this. The demons tried to attack. They were angry. How dare, he take the property of our master. They attacked God. But who can kill Kṛṣṇa? Only a fool will think himself or try to kill the Lord. And then the Lord, with his energies, expansion, associates who were very, very powerful, they could not even touch the Lord, the demons or the demon associates. Bali Maharaj did try to stop them, because then there's a beautiful discussion about time. The time this is not the right time. We had the right time. We were the kings. The time is such that it never stays the same. It can make the king a pauper. It can make the pauper a king, right? Today, someone could be very healthy. We don't know tomorrow what will happen. Today, someone could be very sick and vice versa can happen. Same with wealth and poverty. Same with health and disease. Same with all these dualities of life. Nothing stays same forever. Happiness and distress. And can we change it? Balena, no. Swachera, no. Buddhaya, no. We can't change. By our diplomacy, by building big fortress, can anyone overcome death? Oh, I'll build big fortress. The death I'll not allow. Oh, I have a lot of money. I'll bribe death. Oh, I have a lot of beauty. I'll do something with my beauty, a lot of my intelligence, a lot of earth, medicines, doctors, lawyers, whatever. We cannot, do anything to time. So we just have to do our best and wait for the rest. So finally, uh, the Lord arrested Bali Maharaj. And a very, very nice verse, text 26, Garuda understood the intentions of the Lord. First class devotee. Without telling what needs to be done, Garuda understood the intentions. A great disciple understands the intentions of the spiritual master. Very, very important point. And he bound him by Varuna Pasha, the snake. And Bali Maharaj's test of determination, humility, tolerance, it is a great, he was so humble. He didn't retaliate. He didn't try to counterattack. He didn't say any harsh words. And in one way, it was a special mercy. Yasya harishyami, yasyaham anugranami, harishyati tad dhanai shane, harishyati tad dhanai. And it was a test that Narayana paras sarve na kutascha bhavidyati, swarga pavarga narkeshu, apitulyata darshana. We discussed that. Great souls, whether in heaven or hell, they are completely Krishna conscious. They're not affected by any time, place, and situation. So then Bali Maharaj spoke. Oh, okay, you wanted to give me, you think you were a very rich person, you think you will give me 3 steps of land? Well, 2 steps, I've covered everything. You know what will happen? You can't give me 3 steps, you will go to hell. The rarest of the hell. You will have to face the punishment. You were thinking you were a very rich person. You said you could give me 3 steps of land. But look at your situation. You're bound now. Where should I put my 3rd step? So Prabhupada gives a very nice purport that we should never think that we have anything to give to the Lord. Otherwise, the Lord can take in 1 step everything. He doesn't even need even 2 steps. So that's where we kind of stopped. Any comments, questions, any reflections from this chapter? Anything really struck you? Anything you really liked? We can maybe take 1 or 2 points and then move on to the next chapter. Anyone wants to share? Anyone?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So here we can see that Bali Maharaj, even though he had everything, but even after giving, he was extremely truthful. Even though he was unable to keep his promise, but he was not afraid at all because he had surrendered himself to the Lord. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nice point. Anyone else wants to share?
So, Krishna Prabhuji, so donating, because everything is Lord's, everything what we have, everything is Lord's, even our life. So donating anything from our, whatever Lord given us, a portion or whatever, it is definitely not a loss. He's already giving whatever he gave us, but he will give us much more back. Even it is his what a giving back, but much more give he will give us back. That is for sure, and that will be seen in the following chapters. But here we see that even Bali Maharaj is not hesitating to give up everything, whatever he has. So, though we should not, as a devotee, we should not ask for return, but definitely Lord will give us back, even by bhakti. Back to Guruji.
Thank you. Very nice point, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. I saw that in the text about Ganges, it says that some say that Lord Narayan is come in the form of Ganges, and some say that the Ganges came from Brahma's Kamandalu, and some say that Ganga came from the piercing by the Lord Vaman's nail. The transcendental Ganga appeared. So I really felt that, sometimes we devotees also get fixed on this is right, that is right, or, we read some one aspect and then we get stuck to it in a way that we don't accept anything else as a truth. It happens in scriptures, it happens in personal dealings. It's so easy that Kali Yuga mind can think, oh yeah, we are right, we read it there. It just shows that there are so many aspects of the scriptures, and it's so nice to unite. The Ganga is considered the union of all these three, it says later, is to unite based on knowledge we have, than to divide saying that I know what is right. And that was one realization. And somewhere here, Lord says that because Bali Maharaj is a devotee, he protected I couldn't find that. And the second third realization I had was, like you said, whether Krishna is going to embrace me or embarrass me, it's okay. And yata tata dhatu lampato, vidhatu lampato, yat prananath, he's still my pranath. And that really struck me. And so his Bali Maharaja, on the second point, going back, it says somewhere Bali Maharaj, Lord Vishnu protected his devotee, and that was really great. If I come across this sentence, I'll put it in chat. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Wonderful realizations. Okay, I think let's move on. Is Baswati Mataji, you wanted to share something?
Yeah, just
Yes,
I
please.
really like the determination of Bali Maharaj. He was so determined because he to keep his promise, and he even did not listen to his Gurudev Shukracharya because he thinks what his promise is more important. And as a Kshatriya also, Bali Maharaj kept his promise. So devotee also should have the determination for doing any kind of devotional service. That's my realization. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice point. Sthit Pragya. Okay, who hasn't read today wants to read the summary of this chapter? Yes, Sampida Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, Chapter 22. Bali Maharaj surrenders his life. The summary of this 22nd chapter is as follows. The Supreme Personality of Godhead was pleased by the behavior of Bali Maharaj. Thus the Lord placed him on the planet Sutala, and there, after bestowing benedictions upon him, the Lord agreed to become his doorman. Bali Maharaj was extremely truthful, being unable to keep his promise. He was very much afraid, for he knew that one who has deviated from truthfulness is insignificant in the eyes of society. An exalted person can suffer the consequence of hellish life, but he is very much afraid of being defamed for deviation from the truth. Bali Maharaj agreed with great pleasure to accept the punishment awarded him by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bali Maharaj dynasty, there were many asuras who because of their enmity toward Vishnu had achieved a destination more exalted than that of many mystic yogis. Bali Maharaj specifically remembered the determination of Prahlad Maharaj in devotional service. Considering all these points, he decided to give his head in charity as a place for Vishnu's third step. Bali Maharaj also considered how great personalities give up their family relationships and material possessions to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Indeed, they sometimes even sacrifice their lives for the satisfaction of the Lord, just to become his personal servants. Accordingly, by following in the footsteps of previous acharyas and devotees, Bali Maharaj perceived himself successful. While Bali Maharaj, having been arrested by the ropes of Varuna, was offering prayers to the Lord, his grandfather, Prahlad Maharaj, appeared there and described how the Supreme Personality of Godhead had delivered Bali Maharaj by taking his possessions in a tricky way. While Prahlad Maharaj was present, Lord Brahma and Bali's wife, Vindhyavali, described the supremacy of the Supreme Lord. Since Bali Maharaj had given everything to the Lord, they prayed for his release. The Lord then described how a non-devotee's possession of wealth is a danger, whereas a devotee's opulence is a benediction from the Lord. Then, being pleased with Bali Maharaj, the Supreme Lord offered his disc to protect Bali Maharaj and promised to remain with him. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, back to you. Please explain.
Thank you so much, Sampadamitachi, for so nicely reading this summary. So this is just a summary. We'll read all these verses. A lot of wonderful lessons are there in this chapter. In fact, all this 8th canto is full of wonderful lessons. I mean, every canto, every chapter, every verse. But the one we are reading will glorify that, right? So, a lot of wonderful lessons are here. Okay, let's begin with the first verse. Prabir Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes. Dandavat Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada. Text 1. Sishuka Uvacha Evam Viprakrita Rajan Balir Bhagavata Osura Vidyamana Api Obhinna Atma Pratya Haviklabam Vacha. Translation. So can you translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada. Shukdev Goswami said, O King, although the Supreme Personality of Godhead was superficially seen to have acted mischievously toward Bali Maharaj, Bali Maharaj was fixed in his determination. Considering himself not to have fulfilled his promise, he spoke as follows. Hare Krishna Prabhu, back to you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, the Lord acted mischievously. The Lord is mischievous sometimes, right? So he wanted to bring out the best in his devotee. He wanted to show to the whole world, look at the glorious devotee of mine, Bali Maharaj. Even in such a embarrassing situation which I have put him in, he is Sthita Pragya. He could have said, like, you didn't say that he will increase your size. Just take 3 steps of land and go away. You didn't say that you'll bind me. If a if a person comes at the doorstep to ask for something, and the landlord, let's say, gives a donation and binds the landlord, and the beggar or the person who has asked for donation binds the landlord, does it sound like a good idea? No, right? But the Lord did that. Mischievous. He acted mischievously. But Bali Maharaj knew the plan of the Lord. So let's see what Bali Maharaj spoke. When the Lord had asked him in the previous chapter, that's where we paused. Where should I keep my 3rd step? There was no response. So the response is here. Let's see what Maharaj Bali spoke. Yes, Ikant Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna Dharma Pranam to all devotees. Sri Balir Uvacha Yad Uttama Shloke Bhavan Mameritham Vacho Vyalikham Suravarya Manyate Karmo Ratnam Tana Bhavet Pralabha Pradam Tritiyam Kuru Srishinam Me Nijam. Translation purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Bali Maharaj said, O best personality of Godhead, most worshipable for all the demigods, if you think that my promise had become false, I shall certainly rectify matter to make it truthful. I cannot allow my promise to be false. Please, therefore, place your third lotus foot on my head. Purport. Bali Maharaj could understand the pretense of Lord Vamanadeva, who had taken the side of demigods and come before him as a beggar. Although the Lord's purpose was to cheat him, Bali Maharaj took pleasure in understanding how Lord will cheat his devotees to glorify the devotee's position. It is said that God is good, and that is the fact. Whether he cheats or rewards, he is always good. Bali Maharaj therefore addressed him as Uttama Shloka, Your Lordship. He said, You are always praised with the best of the selected verses. On behalf of the demigods, you disguised yourself to cheat to me, saying that you wanted only 3 pieces of land, but later you expanded your body to such an extent that with 2 footsteps you covered the entire universe. Because you were working on behalf of your devotees, you do not regard this as cheating. Never mind, I cannot be considered a devotee. Nonetheless, because although you are the husband of the goddess of fortune, you have come to me to beg. I must satisfy you to the best of my ability. So please do not think that I wanted to cheat you. I must fulfill my promise. I shall have my body. I still have my body. When I place my body for your satisfaction, please put your third step on my head. Since the Lord had covered the entire universe with 2 steps, one might ask how Bali Maharaj could be sufficient for his third step. Bali Maharaj, however, thought that the possessor of wealth must be greater than the possession. Therefore, although the Lord had taken all his possessions, the head of Bali Maharaj, the possessor, would be provided adequate place for the Lord's third step. Thank you, Prabhuji. Please explain, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Nikant Prabhu. So this verse has a lot of commentary from the Acharyas, which is present in the Bhagavad Gita. So I'll share some points from there as well. So the question may come up, right, that here, point number 1 is, but Bali Maharaj is addressing the Lord as Uttama Shloka. Uttam means best, top class, choicest. Shloka means verses. Yat Uttama Shloka Gunanuvarni. This Uttam Shloka word comes hundreds of times in the Bhagavatam. That means we should use the best of the verses, the best of the song, the best of the phrases to glorify Sri Hari, Sri Krishna. Now, Padam Tritya Kuru Shirsham Me Nijam. You put your third lotus foot on my head. Correct? So, someone can ask, like, why? Let's say you sell your car to someone, but you don't sell yourself, so the possessor is higher than the possession. Right? You sell your mobile phone to someone, but it's not that you sell yourself to the possessor. The possession is the phone. The possessor is that person. So, yes, Bali Maharaj's land was taken, but Bali Maharaj still was, he doesn't come with the land. Okay, so that's the point here, that the possessor of wealth must be greater than the possession. Therefore, Although the Lord had taken his possessions, but the head of Bali Maharaj was still there. So, Uttama Shloka. Why is the Lord called Uttama Shloka? Because the Acharyas mentioned the Lord will get famous for multiple reasons. Number one, pretense of begging. The Lord came as a beggar, but not an ordinary beggar, the wealthiest of the beggar. Any beggar has Lakshmi as their wife, the goddess of fortune? Yes, Vaman Dev only, just one. His disgraceful acts, Chalayasi, Vikrama, his mischievous acts. And what was that? To take the land by trickery. Whatever the Lord does gets famous. So disgraceful doesn't mean in a negative way. When the Lord cheats also, it's glorious, right? Everyone's cheating is, do we celebrate that? Or do we look down those things? No, we don't celebrate that. We don't encourage. But when the Lord, we chant, Chalayase Vikramane Bali Vamana Pada Nakha Janita Jana Pavana. Those becomes the verses of the Shavatara Stotra. How Lord is a Chaliya. How Lord is mischievous acts. How Lord runs away from the battlefield. Generally, these acts are disgraceful. But when the Lord does it, and very nice point is there, because you are working on the behalf of devotees, you do not regard this as cheating. That means Krishna is ready to cheat for his devotees. So many examples are also there. When he kind of created a plot to so many times kill Karna, kill Dronacharya, the Ashwatthama is dead. We all know that story. Nara, the elephant Ashwatthama, was killed, and Dronacharya thought that his son Ashwatthama was killed. So it was kind of a, immoral, and that's where so many people kind of judge by their own lens. Hey, Krishna acted disgracefully. Hey, the Lord acted disgracefully. He's the Lord. Krishna is to Bhagavan Swayam. We just read that in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Whatever he does, dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranito. That becomes the law. And he can do to any extent. Antya pratijanehi name bhakta pranishyati. To protect his devotees, he is ready to break his own vow, like lifting the chariot wheel in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He will not consider it's moral or immoral. It's disgraceful or graceful. When my devotee is in danger, all laws he'll break. That will become his pastime, which people will celebrate. Cheating Bali, that he's on a mission on behalf of his devotees, siding with mixed devotees and opposing of your pure devotees. So you sided with Indra and others who barely touched a drop of your mercy, and you sided against me who is submerged in the ocean of your sweet mercy. The poet glorify you as most famous. Cheating the demigods. You have been requested by demigods to take the land from me and give it to them. Your words, however, cheat the demigods, since you give them artha, dharma, and kama, and not the nectar of your lotus feet. Wow, this is very, very deep, isn't it? Bali Maharaj got the lotus feet of the Lord on his head. Isn't that amazing? Getting the so-called wealth, so-called land, giving to the mixed devotees like Indra and Party, that is not the real mercy. The real mercy is getting the lotus feet of the Lord, which Bali Maharaj got. So, people think that Bali lost here, right? People think Indra was victorious, but actually, the Lord, we'll see, the Lord became the servant of the Lord. Bhaktya ma adhina. I am bound by my devotee. People, it's not that the Lord bound his devotee. The Lord gets bound by his devotee in the ropes of not Varun Pasha, in the ropes of Prema Pasha. Tvam bhakti damnasi maya niruddha. Bhakti dama, the ropes of love, the love and devotion. As Bilamangala Thakur speaks this verse. So, this is the reciprocal relationship. In losing, he wins, and in winning, they lose. What is real victory? So, apparently, Bali may be a failure in the so-called, he lost everything, but in losing, he won. And others, same case with Chitraketu. Chitraketu lost, but he won. Indra won, but he lost. Same here. Indra won the kingdom, but he lost the lotus feet. What is better? So, quite deep here. Any other comments, additions, questions? Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll pause here. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Shlopada ki jai, Samaveta Gauri Govinda ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Prabhupada.
Haribol.